Hey guys, it's Marty here. I've already recorded this video once, but I made some changes on my OBS settings that I think removed the static from my mic. I'll be checking after this video if it worked or not. So I'm planning on doing some YouTube content, as was heavily requested on my stream. Quite a few people asking for me to upload, some guides and stuff, as I do explain a lot of the mechanics of what I'm doing when I play. So I figured I might as well start my YouTube off with some rips out of the Mayhem Hardcore Solo Self-Found race, which I had a ton of fun in. I, maintained some spots pretty high up on the ladder for a long time. I had a second push that almost came back for the Slayer, alternate art demi. So here was my first rip. This was after I had gotten about 8 hours of sleep. I was, maybe an hour and a half into a session. So the most commented thing on this is, why am I whirling into mobs? The reasoning for that is I want to keep Fortify up. As you can see, I die after whirling into a pack, so people were suggesting I should be sundering from far away as opposed to whirling. And I just want to show that that is not exactly an isolated incident. This rip in particular was fairly unlucky. I'm not really torn up about it, but I did learn something from it. So as you can see here, my endurance charges did not get buffed up again. I'm using Red Dream with 15% chance to generate endurance charges on kill. So I did not get one here. I didn't notice. I wasn't looking at the buffs, so I didn't know that they were down. I just kind of assumed they would be up. And as you can see, my Basalt Flask is currently down. That is just an issue of how I press my keys. So my way of pressing flasks is I go 2, 3, 4, 5. And I move this finger over to 5 at the end. So in the past, that's never been an issue. But, this is my first time where I actually died because I didn't have my 5th flask active. So the way I'm going to be working around that is I'm going to be putting my least important flask on 5. So in this case, it would have been the Ruby Flask, which I was mostly using just for like volatiles and detonate dead and stuff like that. So yeah, that got me killed. It is what it is. Here's just another quick clip of me doing another Chayula breach a previous day. And just to confirm, the mods are basically the same. You can see 25% more monster life, monsters cannot be stunned. Monsters have increased crit chance and crit multi, versus this one, monster life, monsters cannot be stunned, and monster damage. Those are the relevant damage mods or relevant mods on either map. Now, had I had monsters cannot be stunned not be on the map, I probably would have lived. But as you can see in this one, I'm also just leaping on top of mobs. It's a little bit harder to see because for some reason when I watch Twitch VODs, they lag a lot. But you can see I'm leaping directly into packs. It wouldn't have mattered how big that pack was. Again, I leaped directly onto it, no issues whatsoever. My Immortal Call's proccing, I'm keeping my flasks up. And had I had my Basalt Flask up for all of those hits on that previous one, I would absolutely have lived. And just to clarify something that was also discussed, which is to do with melee shots snapshotting in this game. So let's show what that is. So as you can see here, some people, I could be wrong about this, and it might also affect these flasks, and it wouldn't have mattered had I pressed my Basalt because it could have potentially been too late. But so as you can see, all of these hits down here are going to happen at the same instant. So even though my Immortal Call procs and blocks the physical damage, I still die. There's my Immortal Call proccing. You can see this big shockwave and the Immortal Call flash at the top. And so that happens because all of the hits went through at once. It doesn't say, oh, you took 300 damage, your Immortal Call procs, you don't take damage from other hits. It's just they all go through because they all went in at the same time. They were all snapshotted. And then so my other rip, which I find pretty funny because, a Chayula breach got me again in this race on my Slayer. So this one, the main comment was, why are you standing still with these projectiles coming through to you? And the reason for that is just because if you're doing a breach, particularly Chayula breach, you need to kill the rares the moment they're spawning, because if I were to run away from these and let them survive, then 2 more Chayula mobs might spawn up here, another one might spawn over here, and another one might spawn down here. And with other breach types, that's not the biggest deal because they don't have a teleportation ability. But the Chayula mobs use flicker. So when you have 4 or 5 or 6 Chayula mobs in the map, all at the same time, they might all flicker you in the same instant, and you can die to that. So it's a lot safer for me to stand here and clear this out. And as you can see, there are 0 damage mods on the map. The only one that affects it is players have 30% less armor. And my character had maybe 500 armor or something like that. I had like, well, I guess like 1,000 because I had Belly of the Beast as well, which will be reducing hits I take by, I believe, like 10 damage or 100 damage or something. So nothing really relevant there. And so the reason I died here, if we just jump back, this is a very weird little thing. So you can see right there, my Immortal Call just now procced. I got hit by a random little projectile from this mob right here. It's really, really low quality because I would not be able to show it if it wasn't. My computer and internet are not good enough, I guess, for higher quality Twitch VODs. But immediately afterwards, I get hit by about 3 Chayula projectiles, and I have 55% physical dodge, or melee dodge, and 45% spell dodge. So, you know, my odds of getting hit are about 50-50 for each of these hits, just like Crip's chances of winning any Hearthstone game. And all of them hit. And also, as you can see up here, by the Ignite and the Shock, these are buffs that apply when you get critically hit. So these mobs also crit me, leading to my ultimate demise. And, you know, again, I'm not salty about this stat. This is part of what I love about Path of Exile, that this kind of thing can happen. You know, you never feel safe because of these sorts of things, and that's something I love about hardcore on it. And so just to give another example of why this is, like, you know, not to be expected of my character and why it's not necessarily a gameplay error, it's just a weird circumstance. So this map I had been running earlier on the same character. You can see 100% extra damage as lightning. And it also has the less armor mod. And we also have a sextant here. The players take 10% increased cold damage, so any cold damage mods that would be on these Chayula mobs would also have killed me, or, you know, done bonus damage. And as we can watch, I'm just sort of standing still, tanking a lot of projectiles, tanking a lot. Those ones hurt the most, these little flying things there. You know, just tanking a lot, just kind of making sure I'm clearing out all these rares. As soon as I see a rare, I'm standing still and I'm killing that rare. There aren't any right at this moment, but a few more come up in a second here. Right here, walking directly into some mobs, you know, doesn't matter. I'm just standing there and killing, because if I don't kill, I'm a lot more worried about taking damage. Okay, it didn't happen in a second. It happened a second prior. Let's go back to that. See, there's the 2 splinters there. So I pop the breach. Again, this is pretty much the exact same situation. There's the rares. I accidentally dodged the shots, but here I'm standing in their projectiles. I get flickered on, and I take 0 damage. 0 damage from that. I stand in these projectiles again. You know, no damage taken, because this character is extremely high evasion, extremely high dodge, and you know, tons of leech because of the Slayer leech. If I were to have taken damage, you know, my health would immediately heal back up in like a second or 2. So anyways, that's my rip analysis. You know, it is what it is. Unlucky, but hey, it's Mayhem. This is what I play it for. It was an absolute blast, and I really enjoyed it. I hope everyone is going to enjoy this YouTube video. Let me know in the comments. You know, like, subscribe, whatever. Tell me I'm shit at the game, whatever you gotta do. I'm going to be streaming a lot of PoE and Abyss League, and finishing off the Mayhem League with some streams. I'll be streaming a bit between the leagues as well, just probably some mixed games. And I'll be trying to upload more and more to YouTube, probably upload some guides once 3.1 comes out, talking about my builds that I'm playing, probably talking about sextant blocking if it's still a thing, probably talking about what maps I'm shaping, you know, just the general YouTube stuff, get everyone up to date on what I'm doing, and you know, I'm going to try and create some good content for everyone. I hope you all enjoy the video, and yeah, like I said, like and subscribe.